Okay, let's just jump right in. Something huge is happening in the world of finance, and honestly, most people haven't even noticed. We're talking about trillions with a T of dollars in Middle Eastern wealth, oil money, and it is on the move. So, where is it all going? You might be surprised. It's heading straight for cryptocurrency. So that's the big question, right? Why on earth would some of the wealthiest investors and nations on the planet trade the stability of traditional banks for the, let's be honest, pretty wild world of crypto? It seems kind of backwards, doesn't it? But when you dig into it, the reason is actually incredibly straightforward. And there it is. That one word says it all. This whole massive shift, it all comes down to control. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme, no. This is about taking the reins back in a world that feels more and more uncertain every day. All right, so let's break this down. First off, you gotta understand, this isn't some big, flashy headline you're gonna see everywhere. It's the opposite. It's a very strategic, very quiet move to spread out assets. And because it's happening so quietly, well, most of the world just hasn't seen it coming. But to really get why this is happening, we've got to look at what they're moving away from. For decades, the petrodollar system was the absolute bedrock of global finance, but that foundation is starting to show some pretty serious cracks. So what even is the petrodollar system? Well, here's the simple version. For about half a century, the deal was basically this. Oil gets sold, but only in US dollars. Then all that money, all those dollars, would get invested right back into US assets. This whole cycle created this massive, constant demand for the dollar, making it the king of currencies, and giving Western banks, well, a ton of power over all that wealth. Okay, so here are the exact reasons why that system is starting to feel shaky. First up, sanctions. I mean, we've all seen it happen. One political move, and boom, billions of dollars frozen, just like that. Then you've got inflation, the constant worry that the US can just print more money, making your dollars worth a little less every single day. On top of that, there's basically zero financial privacy, and this total reliance on Western systems. You start to add all that up, and suddenly the safe option doesn't feel so safe anymore.
Okay, so if the old system is looking risky, how exactly is crypto the answer?
Well, it's pretty interesting, actually. It takes each one of those weaknesses and just flips it on its head. And here's the first huge one: sovereignty. Think about it. In a normal bank, somebody else can hit a button and freeze your account. Done. With crypto, transactions don't ask for permission. There's no foreign government, no central bank that can step in and block you. If you're worried about sanctions, man, that's not just an advantage, that is a total game changer. All right, next up, scarcity. A currency like the US dollar, they can just print more whenever they want. But something like Bitcoin, well, there will only ever be 21 million. That's it, the code says so. Nobody can fire up a printer and make more. So, as a way to protect your wealth from inflation over the long haul, that kind of predictable digital scarcity is incredibly appealing. And then, of course, there's the privacy angle. In the banking system, we all know every single transaction is tracked, monitored, and reported. Crypto offers a different path. It lets you move and store your wealth with way more discretion. And listen, this isn't about hiding illegal stuff. It's about financial privacy. It's like having a digital safe that the whole world isn't constantly peering into. This quote just nails the whole mindset. Risk is better than control. Think about that. Yeah, crypto goes up and down like crazy. That's the risk for sure. But for these investors, that risk, that's better than the alternative, which is someone else having total control and the ability to just take your wealth away. It's a very deliberate trade-off they're willing to make. And don't think this is just a defensive move, like they're running away from something. No, this is a full-on offensive playbook for the future. You've got these younger, tech-savvy leaders coming up in the Middle East. They're literally building the future in places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, turning them into these global hubs for crypto and AI. They're rolling out the welcome mat for innovation. And the end game here, it's all about cutting the cord and achieving real financial independence. So that brings us to the big picture. When you have this much money moving around, it's not going to happen in a vacuum, right? It's going to create some massive ripple effects across the entire global market. So let's take a look at what that future could hold. Yeah, I mean, this is the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? For so long, crypto has been the world of, individual traders and tech nerds. But what happens, what really happens when giant sovereign wealth funds and the ultra-wealthy start showing up? not to gamble, but with a real long-term strategy. And this chart gives us a clue. We all know crypto markets are crazy volatile, right? A big reason for that is retail investors, everyday people, who tend to panic and sell when things go down. But these huge funds, they play a different game. They buy to hold. They have a 10, 20-year horizon. They might even buy more when the market crashes. So strange as it sounds, all this big money coming in could actually make the market more stable. So let's bring it all back home. If you take one thing away from this, let it be this. This whole shift, it's not about hype, it's not about trying to time the market and get rich next week. It's a deep strategic move. It's a search for control, for privacy, and for protection from a system that just doesn't feel as safe as it used to. When you step back, what we're really seeing is a sign that the fundamental plates of global finance are shifting. It's like a quiet earthquake, but it's happening right under our feet. And in history, the people who pay attention to these early signals are the ones who come out ahead. So that leaves us with just one question, really. Who's listening?